Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm going to teach you how to go uphill on a boat without using anything but water and pretty much any kind of block you want. Okay, I decided to use sand and grass blocks because it looks more realistic. Alright, first thing you need to do is build a 9 by 22 rectangle with raised edges, so it's kind of like a bowl. It can all be the same kind of block, it doesn't matter, and this is just assuming you're not building in a river or lake that was already there. So this will be the front and these are going to be the sides. Second thing you want to do is build 2 inclines on the sides, evenly spaced apart, wherever you want, really, just not too close together. I put my first incline on the 8th block from the front, so the 8th block, and the second one on the 14th, and then you just want to fill in the space around it so it looks like this. Next you're going to build what I call connectors. You can use any kind of block you want. You want to build a layer connecting the inclines and then put a block underneath it, a layer of blocks. And you want to do that on both inclines. After that, you want to build these trenches. These are for the water to flow into, which is important, but I'll explain that later. So you want to dig these trenches. They are 2 blocks away from the connectors, and if needed you want to plug up these holes. And then this entire column, you can see I have coarse dirt instead of grass blocks, so I can tell the difference. You want to replace that with any other block so you can tell. It's just a reminder because you won't be placing water there. That's the only spots that you won't be placing water. And you want to do that on all the columns beside the trenches. So it'll look like this. And then you can place your first layer of water. I'm sure you know how to place water. Just place it on every block around the wall, except for that block beside the trenches. So after you're done each layer, you'll notice that it's completely flat, but you'll still see it flowing towards that block. That's what you want. So after that, you want to fill the second layer. Do the same thing. Don't put water on this block, but you want to put it everywhere else, especially here. And then you want to fill the third layer until it's completely full. Everything is flat except for above the trenches. Then you can remove your first layer of blocks. And boom, the water won't go down because it's flowing down into the trenches. It looks like magic, but it's not magic. Water and lava source blocks need to be flowing in at least one direction. That's why we dug the trenches, and also why we didn't place water in or above the trenches. And so the water could flow into it. Now you can go ahead and break the second layer, and once you're done that, you will be left with this. And then you can line up it. And as long as there's no blocks too close to you underneath, you will flow up it perfectly. Then you can replace these blocks with dirt, or you can even just like use a hoe and it'll grow back eventually. And that's it. So this is just a very basic straight line, which isn't very realistic if you're in survival. So I'll show you what I did. Doing a curved line is much more complicated, but it's a lot more fun if you like to ride the boat around. If you're not very good with the boat, or you haven't used it before, you should know that with your left thumbstick, you always want to have it forward, and then only move your screen around to steer. And I'm not doing very good right now. I was doing much better earlier when I was practicing, believe me, but it is quite possible to get through this whole thing without crashing. There are many ways that you can do this. And I have it opening up into a giant lake over here. And let's go back up. So, it's very simple. If you want to do giant areas like this, you do exactly the same thing. You put the long connectors across. You kind of want to make sure you have straight lines to work with on both sides. I'm sure it works if you do a diagonal. I just haven't tried it out yet. So anyway, that's an easy way without pistons or slime blocks or anything to go uphill with a boat.